Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome back to Brown Bag Benedict Bets, powered by BetSperts and Hollandaise Sauce. We are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christensen, and joining me, as always, Mr. Andy Molitor. How was the Benedict this morning? It looked pretty good, and I like the way the home fries were done. It's more like a chop. They do it's a broken up hash brown almost kind of thing.
Yeah, and also it's a dive bar that's near here that I love. And for 10 years, I just would get the chicken fried steak. They don't have it anymore. It's gotten too expensive with the pandemic. So I've had to delve into other things on their menu. It seemed appropriate. Also, it's a dive bar. They can't poach eggs. So I just got them. That's why I just got over easy. Just make them over easy. Let's not complicate things. As long as your hollandaise is good, and they do have good hollandaise. So yes, we are not going so good in the foursomes early for the Euros, but we have 4-ball this afternoon, which should go well outside of the fabled Bryson-Scotty matchup, or Scotty-Bryson pairing, which will go really good. We'll be joined by Mr. Fallica here in a few minutes. We'll touch some college football, but we would be remiss if we didn't take a mild victory lap, right? Mr. Darnold. 20, 22. The worst number I saw anybody post on a winning ticket was 20. So 20-1 winner, 24 if you found the best of the number. And really, I was a little worried the running back was going to snatch it, or we're going to have some sort of quick pass to a tight end. But that mesh play, and then just nobody, the utter disrespect, honestly. I talked about that with Drew. It's like nobody thought he was going to take the ball and run with it.
It is amazing on that team. And it's a concept in basketball that I don't know if has made it to football yet, the concept of gravity. And in basketball, really what it means is a certain player just takes up so much attention, so much gravity, so much pull, if you will, of the defense. It makes everyone's life so much easier. And McCaffrey kind of has that in a way. And when you get down close to the end zone, it limits Robbie Anderson's speed a little bit because there's less field for him to run by people in. And you just kind of double up DJ Moore. You focus on Christian McCaffrey and let the rest of it kind of take care of itself. And like you said, total disrespect to the ability for Darnold, who we've seen a couple times a year in his career. He's done it. I think he's had rushing touchdown week 1 and now 1 here. So that's 2, I think, rushing touchdowns already for him this year. Complete disrespect and kind of just walked in there like that.
Yeah, and if you played, I'm sure there was a prop for Darnold to have multiple rushing touchdowns, which probably played pretty. That had to be double digits, probably 12, 15-1, something like that.
I think those 2+ touchdowns aren't good. They juice the hell out of it. But you're right; it might have been 50, close to 100 even.
Oh, really? I was thinking because it'd be anytime touchdown. It wasn't just a.
Right, 2 anytime. Anytime touchdowns. Sorry, I was thinking 2 anytime touchdowns. They juice the heck out of those. Every once in a while, I look at those. There just doesn't seem like there's too much value. And maybe I don't look at some of the bigger numbers, but it always seems like the biggest number on the board there's 60 to 80. Maybe there's 100 or something, but
a bad game though.
Receiver,
bad
something.
Game overall.
Yeah,
I tried. I didn't want to bet the second half. I said Houston money line.
Thursday Night Football's back.
Yeah, I said Houston money line just jokingly, hey, if we're not gonna bet the second half, I'm gonna bet that just to watch Survivor Leagues fall. That would have been a good idea. Glad I didn't bet at all. It's better than losing. But yeah, Drew just said I'm going to war with Sam Darnold, which didn't seem all that exciting to do at the time, but it did come through. So halftime, kind of a winner, I guess. I didn't bet it. I stayed off that game completely. Didn't use it in teasers or survivors. And I'm more excited to look for the weekend. This afternoon, I will be looking through look-aheads. I haven't done much of this yet this year because I like to get my numbers a little more solidified, but I probably will be betting some week 4 games today into tomorrow when I'm opening up all the accounts to bet everybody else's college into my stuff. So I'll be looking at that this afternoon. And this afternoon, you got some tennis. We'll head out right off the bat here.
Yeah, just a couple plays for us today. Just going to check the starting time here, but got one in Ostrava, an underdog here. Julie Teichmann was a winner for us early in the week, is a very big dog going back to battle with her. Was able to scoop her a little better number. We saw 180 a few places just before the show, but I think this is dropping down. So look for plus 170 or better. If you see plus 165, plus 116, you want to do Jen for like half a unit, that's fine. But this is a full play for me at plus 170 or better. Teichmann's playing Kvitova. Kvitova just really having a poor season. Teichmann in very nice form. I think she actually matches up kind of nicely here. I think beat Kvitova earlier in the year as well. You think of Kvitova, this is an indoor tournament, which generally means Kvitova gets a lot of respect, as she should. She generally does very well indoors, but so does Teichmann. All of her numbers, all of her data takes a big step up when she's indoors. I expect her to do quite well in this match. I have it, I have Kvitova favored, but, minus 125, so I put Teichmann right around plus 125 to plus 135, kind of in that range, maybe a little bit bigger, if I was hanging the line myself. But again, really like her chances here. She's not going to be too worried. Lefty against lefty, which kind of neutralizes. That's another factor sometimes you pull in. That one is going to get underway shortly. There's a match on right now. Iga Swiatek looks like she's going to close out Rybakina here in 2 sets, and then Teichmann's up. So look for that soon. And then in the Challenger, the 125K, whatever it's listed at your book, Columbus, we're going to take Wang, and it's Wang Jinyu. Normally, Andy, you have to know your Wang because there's about 5 to 6 different Wangs in women's tennis.
There are.
Luckily, there's just one on the board today, so we don't have to worry about the first name. But Wang Jinyu is playing in the event in Columbus. A younger player starting to kind of make her move up. I'm curious to see if she can crack into some of these 250 and 500 tournaments next year. She's playing Madison Brengle, an older U.S. player, very solid, but I think we'll kind of be outmatched here by the young up-and-comer. So happy to take Wang minus 110. We play this one out to minus 125. So 2 tennis plays for us. Again, Teichmann starts shortly after we wrap up here, and then Wang will be probably about 30, 45 minutes after we finish. And that's about it for tennis, Andy, and I think I see somebody in the background. Are we ready?
Yeah, I think we are. Mr. Fallica has made his way into the waiting room. He's joining us from Chicago. Is that where we're at? How do I not know where game day is this week? Yeah, it's the only good. There's other good games. There's good games from a betting standpoint, but like the marquee game is the fun one they're going to be doing here. Oh man, and maybe this will be a question for Chris for sure. But worst stadium that game day goes to all year. It's probably not even close. Let's get his opinion on that. Soldier Field, not as cool as any of the SEC stadiums, any of the other ones for sure. Oh, I'm not sure I'm grabbing his audio.
I'm having a little trouble there not being able to hear him. I think producer Dan will be working on that in just a second. Apologies, folks. As you can see, we're sort of just setting this up on the fly. We're back in StreamYard today, folks.
Yeah, I'm just kind of hanging in here. So we'll see.
Yeah, Soldier Field. I mean, it's been a little while since I've been there. Didn't they redux it a few years ago?
I don't know, man. I think they're going to tear down Arlington and stick the Bears out there, for Christ's sake. That's how bad things have gotten. So, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes what do you call the Apple things? Sometimes those things want to catch a mic, and that turns into a problem with StreamYard here. But we'll see if we can get his audio going in a second. I don't know if Dan can help me with that. Otherwise, yes, it is Notre Dame and Wisconsin taking on Notre Dame in Soldier Field here. So, Chris, can you hear you, or can we hear you now? Yeah, I'm not catching audio yet.
That's okay. We'll back you out. Maybe try to jump out and hop back in, Chris. We'll see if maybe that helps. Make sure that the audio is just going to the right place. But as we wait for Mr. Fallica, so you said we've got Notre Dame, we've got Wisconsin. I mean, do you have an opinion that's there? I'm generally a Wisconsin supporter and someone that likes to go against Notre Dame. That's just kind of who I am as a person. But, have you watched enough college football to have a strong opinion yourself on this one?
God, no. Saturdays are off days. I'm cutting down an apple tree tomorrow. I will watch some college football. I talked about that. It's the opposite.
Why you cut down an apple tree? I love apple trees.
Because it's in the way of the house. Like the house is going to get bigger next spring, and it's awful. It's a crab apple tree anyway. But no, tomorrow I will watch some college football. I'll try to take some in, but it'll mostly be in the evening. It might be actually if it's a rainy, windy day, things might not good. My God, I do have to mute. I have to mute the Slack. The company Slack chat is just blowing up right now.
Anything particular going on? A lot of Ryder Cup talk there. I haven't pulled up the scores. I've been trying to be good so I can pay attention here.
It's Friday. We just have the weekend going on. Chris. No luck on this one. We might just have to call it. I'm not sure if the mic settings, or maybe hit the old cam and mic settings one more try. See if you can catch it on the mic. Not sure why the phone wouldn't pick up your mic.
It's very strange. These things happen, people. Sometimes Chris can't even hear me. We did that for a whole show, but
we did have that. I know we used this just because it would be. Oh, he's going full note. There we go. Oh,
well, we just heard noise.
He had it.
Hopefully, folks, this is as fun for you to watch as it is for us to experience.
I know. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on Ryder Cup stuff right now.
How are we doing? Is anything getting closer? Do I have any shot at cashing my Euro to win day one bet?
It's not looking great.
Darn it. I figured to win Europe day one, I had to come out of this like even. I probably have to come out of this 2-2 to have a shot. I mean, do we know what the afternoon groups are? I was poking around and it didn't seem to be up anywhere. They take an hour break and then decide. I don't know. It's very strange.
Coaches are very secretive. I think we're going headphone free now.
We're going to try and see if that works. Are we good now?
Oh yeah, there we got him.
Losing the iPod, hurt the iPods rather. So there we go. Now we're going to try and center me up a little bit. My poor camera work there. But yeah, we're good now. I apologize for how we're doing this here. Yeah, that's it.
No,
okay. We're okay. We're on an angle
from the road every week. Joining us from every week because you are traveling somewhere in the Windy City, getting ready for. Honestly, like I mentioned, the only good game. You had a few that you wanted to talk about, though. I'm gonna have to go look at that. Actually, I have a game tonight.
Yeah, the Syracuse game tonight versus Liberty getting 6.5 is really interesting to me because I think Syracuse nationally, I don't think people realize that they're a top 25 defense in terms of expected points on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, their offensive line has played a lot better. The sack rate is down. And I'm not sure Malik Willis in that one-man show is really going to be able to go on the road and win by a touchdown. So I like Syracuse plus the points tonight, and a really good chance to win that game outright.
I can get down with that. I love a Friday night game because, like I said, sometimes I don't have enough time to pay attention with my honeydew list on Saturdays. But Friday nights, I've made a point of betting Thursday and Friday games, including an under last night that didn't quite get there. It was close. Really good set line, apparently. I think it was 59.5, lands on 61. Obviously, a little drama with the spread at the end. Some bigger marquee-ish games. You had a Big Ten and an SEC game you had to talk about as well.
Oh, you're saying that Liberty Syracuse is really super marquee? No,
I'm a big Liberty guy. I'm still mad at them actually because I had a really good ticket last year against them when the quarterback got COVID and then they canceled the game.
Yeah.
So
I'm jilted. If you move to the SEC, the LSU Mississippi State game is really interesting to me because I like Mississippi State plus the points and on the money line. I think LSU, if you look at the last 6 times that they've been favored over a Power 5 team since they won the title, they're 3-3, so they're a 500 type team. And I think publicly, people still have that gleam and glow of LSU, Joe Burrow, national champs. But odds makers wise, they understand that this is not the same LSU team. In Mississippi State, I think Rodgers is really getting a knack of how to handle Leach's offense. The way they lost last week's game, I think really doesn't sit well with them. Outgained Memphis by a couple hundred yards, allowed 2 non-offensive touchdowns, a horrible officiating call. I like Mississippi State not only plus the points and outright. And you mentioned the Big Ten game. This Nebraska-Michigan State game is one that I have been asked about more probably than any other game this week. People are asking, why is Michigan State only a 4.5 or a 5-point favorite over Nebraska? They should kill Nebraska. And I think people need to understand and realize that the odds makers kind of realize Michigan State, yes, they're 3-0, but the power ratings kind of indicate last week they know it was a field goal game in the fourth quarter before Miami turned the ball over a couple of times deep inside their own end. They know that Northwestern really stinks, and that win is kind of downgraded some. And they know that Nebraska played pretty well last week, and I think there's some respect there for for the Huskers offense. So this is a number I was hoping it was going to go up. I was hoping I was going to be able to get 5.5 or something like that. I guess I'm not going to be able to, but I just still do like Nebraska, and I'll probably play the Huskers a little on the money line as well.
Yeah, I like the way you broke that down. It sounds kind of like a classic overreaction spot based on the hot Michigan State start. And I think the way, honestly, a lot of people, based on what Twitter was doing, were on Michigan State last week, so they were looking forward to cashing those tickets. I don't know, Andy, did you have a Michigan State ticket with everybody else?
I mean, it's why they put handicaps. That it's like the whole world is running to bet the Broncos this week. It's like, what? It's a lot of points. Like the Jets are bad, but it's still you have to win by so many points, and teams are not incentivized to win by that many points. They just want to go out there and get the W and head back to campus. So yeah, I kind of like this too, especially if this ticks up closer to game day. What else did we have? You had a couple more games you sent me. You left the mystery in there because I haven't got to your podcast yet this week, and I didn't know which side of these you were on, but I was interested definitely in this UTSA Memphis game.
Yeah, I like UTSA, and again, I will play the Roadrunners on the money line as well. I kind of hit on it a little bit with Memphis there. I think people see the reality. They beat an SEC team last week. Well, again, it was a terrible officiating call. They had 2 non-offensive touchdowns. They were outgained by 222 yards in the game. They had 11 first downs. UTSA is one of the best teams in Conference USA, if not the best team. They don't turn the ball over. They get after you defensively. Really good running game, and I like the Roadrunners to go on the road and get that win again. I'll take the 3, and I will take some UTSA on the money line as well.
I love it. Love that.
Yeah, I think you almost have to really on these smaller spreads in college football. It's like last week, all week, and I talked about this to numerous people. We were just kind of sitting there waiting to try to get the 3 with Minnesota. I could never get to 3. It popped to 3 sometimes, and I'd never sit there. And eventually, I just said to hell with it. Bet him on the money line. I think I need to do that more often. Just the ultimate no sweater. I like that one quite a bit.
Yeah, that's been the thing with college football this year, at least for me. Like my ATS number in the column is kind of hovering right around 500, just under. But the money line dogs that we've been putting in the column each week are winning at a really good clip. So that's really putting our bankroll in a good situation early in the year, is playing these dogs to win outright. And we caught a couple of big ones with Utah State and with East Carolina. So when you're getting a plus 325 dog on the money line, so that'll do you a whole lot of good.
That's good for the bankroll. It's like some of these hockey bettors I know where it's like they hit like 48% of their bets on the year, but they're up a whole bunch because it's just constant money line underdogs. A whole different sport there. But last one you had mentioned, we'll close with some ACC action. UNC. Producer Dan was wearing a UNC shirt yesterday.
Good.
Drew wasn't. He's wearing one today, actually. He wasn't loving that. Drew Dinzig, my deep dive partner, he went to Duke, so he wasn't loving Dan's gear, but UNC at G Tech.
I got a little like Carolina powder blue going on here today. We all kind of do, right? We all got some blue in there. And I like the Tar Heels here. I think North Carolina's offense is getting going now. We saw what they did against a bad Virginia defense last week. I'm not sure Georgia Tech is going to be able to match them point for point. We saw the defense able to do a good job against the Clemson offense, which has really struggled this year, and we'll see if they get better. North Carolina's defense, obviously a problem, but they're not playing a quarterback to the caliber of Brennan Armstrong. And I think Carolina is a team that I'm also kind of long on the Tar Heels here. Not only will I lay the 12.5 here with UNC. Remember, this game is not at Bobby Dodd either. This is at the Mercedes-Benz Dome there. So there'll probably be as many North Carolina fans as there will be Georgia Tech fans. So don't think this is a true road game. But like I was saying, if you can get North Carolina at a nice price to win the ACC, yes, they need help to get to the ACC title game, but if they get there, I think they have a real chance to beat Clemson.
Yeah, somebody in the chat mentioned that. Gil says it looks like they're 6-1 to win the ACC, which looks pretty good.
Great bet.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes we joked about Howell losing the Heisman that day. And I don't want to take anything away from VTech, but sometimes that can do a lot for a quarterback too. The pressure's off a little bit because he has looked a lot better the last 2 games. So yeah, UNC to kind of get themselves back in the picture in the ACC, and maybe even Howell I don't know if he can win it, but how old to get on the stage in January there? That's not out of the question for sure.
And look at Ohio State in 2014 when JT Barrett and the Buckeyes looked terrible against, ironically, Virginia Tech in that second game of the year, and came back, and Barrett played great until he got hurt, and then Ohio State wound up winning the national championship. So you're right. We all overreact a little bit to this recency bias of here's what we just saw, and we think that's the narrative for the entire season. But they're 12 games, and things, as we know in the sport, change very, very quickly.
Yeah, you mentioned a few Big Ten teams, and I don't know if you had a pick in this game, but somebody asked about the Rutgers-Michigan game. Taking a look at that, Michigan's the big favorite, laying almost 21 at home. Did you have any thoughts on that one?
It's one of those numbers that is a lot bigger than I thought it would be, and I automatically, when I see that automatically leads me to believe that the number is right, and Michigan should be that big of a favorite. I think Michigan might be good this year. The way they've run the ball has been fantastic. I worry a little bit about Rutgers. The Syracuse game is probably a losable game. This was a team last year that probably should have beaten Michigan, lost an overtime game. It's not one of my favorite games, but if you're in one of those little pool sheets, you got to circle a team here. I might lean towards laying 2021 here, and that's not something that I normally like doing.
Yeah, it's 3 touchdowns. And the other question we had, somebody was asking about the UNLV game. Looks like they play Fresno State tonight. Fresno laying 30.5. They were asking also about the health of Hainer, if you know anything about that.
Well, I haven't seen that he's out. I would assume that he's going to be fine. I've seen nothing to indicate that he's not playing. This kind of seems like, to me, UNLV or pass, though, just because I know UNLV's bad, but everything that the Fresno State poured out into that win emotionally and physically, late night game. Now you're coming back short week. Quarterback might not be 100%, but I'm sure he's going to play. It's UNLV or pass for me, even though the Rebels are a really bad team.
They're down there, but it's one of those. You're winning by 4.5 touchdowns when the game kicks off. Never a bad feeling there. So I like that. Appreciate you answering some of the good questions in the chat today. And I think the Michigan question is just a Michigan fan. His username is Greasy Rules. So I'm just assuming he
could be a Miami Dolphins fan. It could be Bob Greasy, or he could be a Purdue fan. Right?
Could just be an Ace Ventura fan.
Yeah, Greasy. It's been a while for him. So appreciate your time today, Chris. We'll let you get back at it. And
I apologize for the moving camera and the ugly close up and the bad angles. Yeah, we have we just the Wi-Fi went down, so I'm on my iPhone here, and we just got to improvise and adjust.
iPhones have great cameras. Like it's honestly a better camera than some people can put through on their laptops. So no, we appreciate your time. Great. Appreciate the insight. Good luck this weekend and have fun down in Chicago.
Same to you guys. Everybody have a great weekend.
There we go.
I'm all out of bets. I'm probably going to bet more Europe now just because I hate myself and I've had those. They're sitting nicely.
Is there a way we can bet Europe this afternoon? Like, I haven't pulled up the live markets here yet because, again, I'm trying to pay attention. But
I will say, Bet365 has live for not only for the tournament.
For the 1 out of 50 states, people can do it. Bovada, I'd say in Europe live plus 350.
365 also has live for each of the matchups, each of the foursomes that's going on.
I saw those. They look crossed out, though.
Yeah.
Here it goes. Something just popped up.
They'll be down and up as the players are taking shots, but they are up
33-1 on Westwood Fitzy comeback.
Yeah. If you want to bet these, you can be live betting this. I have been surprised. Kudos to the operators for putting up as much as they have for live bet stuff. And thanks for the questions in the chat. Thanks for Mr. Fallica joining us. It's always those AirPods. AirPods ruin like joining by your phone for some reason. I don't know why I didn't remember that. We've had that numerous times. You got to rip out the iPods. This is how old I am. I had an iPod.
Okay. I like what you were doing. I was going to let you keep going. I was enjoying it. Folks. You got to see it today. The sauce isn't quite as easy to make as you think.
Let's call it a week. I'm gonna get I got some articles to write. I got to join this afternoon, Motoy is going to come on and join me and talk about some of the markets in the NFL and college football that he made a list 20 games long. I said, buddy, we can't do that. You got to whittle it down. So he has some good games. We're going to talk about that at 4 Eastern right here on the same YouTube channel. Give us a thumbs up if you're in the YouTube. Enjoy your weekend. Hope you win almost all your bets, but not enough to lose an out. And like I said, I'll be back this afternoon. Alex, have a good one, man.